Hi everyone, this video is about Canterbury Tales, which is considered to be the first masterpiece of English literature written by Geoffrey Chaucer, that is considered to be the father of English literature, the first real author of English literature. This story was written at the end of the 14th century. We can't talk of a real publishing because there was no press at the time. So there was simply some manuscripts which were handwritten, and they were copied. If you wanted to read them, you had a copy of the manuscript. The story, as the name suggests, is a pilgrimage. There's a group of people, actually 30 people, 29 pilgrims, and the narrator, that is Chaucer himself. These people are going on a pilgrimage, and their destination is Canterbury, to visit the shrine of Thomas Becket. You probably remember who Thomas Becket was. During the reign of Henry II, Thomas Becket was appointed as the Archbishop of Canterbury. He was appointed by the king because he was one of his best friends, and the king appointed him because he wanted to have power. He wanted to control the affairs of the church, and he chose him for this way. When Henry II asked Thomas Becket to sign the Constitution of Clarendon, a document in which the king simply manifested his desire to have a total control of the church, Becket refused. And as a matter of fact, he was killed shortly after by a group of knights sent by the king. So he became a martyr and a saint, and his shrine still today is a destination for a holy pilgrimage. This group of people, this group of 30 people, depart from London, and they gather at the Tabard Inn, where the host, so the owner of the inn, suggests them a sort of game to play during the long journey to Canterbury. And this game consists in inventing stories. Each pilgrim will have to tell 2 stories on the way to Canterbury and 2 stories on the way back. So a total of 4 stories each. 30 pilgrims, 4 stories each. So you're supposed to find 120 tales, but actually the collection is not complete. And as a final result, you only have 24 stories. But who are these pilgrims? A general description of them is given in the first pages of this collection in the so-called general prologue. A general prologue is a presentation, an introduction of all the characters in the story. Men and women, mainly coming from the middle class, but actually from all levels of society. Women are present as well, and this underlines the fact that women during that period of the Middle Age started to gain more power in society. And a famous example of that is the wife of Bath, that is considered to be probably the first feminist in English literature. But we'll talk about the wife of Bath maybe in another video because it's a long story. The majority of the social classes are presented in the group, with some few exceptions. The lower levels of society, mainly the peasants, so the poorer people, are not present in this pilgrimage for a very simple reason. It was quite expensive and they couldn't afford the expense of such a journey, so they simply didn't go. Another social class which is not present during this journey is that of aristocracy. Of course, that's not a question of money. They could afford the journey. They simply didn't mix with commoners. Commoners is a term which is still used today to refer to people the commons, like the House of Commons, people who are not aristocrat or people who do not belong to royal families. So the aristocrats and the royal members of society, of course, traveled with their own entourage. They didn't join a group with other people from other social classes. As I said before, they depart from London. London represents the worldly pleasures, so the earth, I piaceri terreni, and their destination is Canterbury, which is defined as the celestial city. So it's not just a geographical journey, but it's considered to be a symbolic journey, a spiritual journey of salvation. There are many themes which are present in this collection of stories. Mainly love is one of the most important themes. Love is analyzed through different aspects. So you have some examples of courtly love, the fact that love is not only physically consummated, but the possibility that love may be spiritual and idealistic. And this idea was deeply influential during the Middle Age. Many works, literary works, are based on the idea of courtly love, even in Italian literature. Another very important theme is the idea and the importance of company. The majority of pilgrims end their stories by wishing their company well, so by wishing the other pilgrims well. This is because they travel together, they ate together, so they spent the majority of time talking to each other and sharing their ideas. And as a matter of fact, the term company, as in Italian compagnia, derives from two Latin words, compane. So the main idea is the communal act of eating together, which is deeply symbolic in this work. There are different symbols we can analyze throughout the collection, the most important of which is that of spring. This pilgrimage is set during springtime, and spring takes on a metaphorical connotation. Spring is the period of the year where there's a sort of rebirth of nature. And this rebirth could be considered as a spiritual one, as in the journey of salvation, of spiritual salvation to a holy destination. But at the same time, spring goes together with passions, with erotic love and physical attractions. And as a matter of fact, I said before that courtly love is one of the main themes, but also its opposite. So physical attraction and erotic love becomes one of the themes in this collection, as in the Decameron by Boccaccio. They are very similar in this sense. And there will be stories, again, about physical attraction and erotic passion. Finally, one last symbol I would like to analyze is that of clothing. There's a deep analysis and a very detailed description of how the characters are dressed. This is given in the general prologue, where each pilgrim is introduced. In this description, we both have physical aspects and other details regarding their personality. But there's a sort of focus on the physical aspect. During that period, many people believed in the idea that some elements of your face, some details of your physiognomy could be linked to specific traits of personality. So, for example, they believed that if you had big ears, you were more likely to become a criminal. So people in the Middle Age believed that physical traits could be interpreted as a sign of a certain personality. So starting from this idea, the description of the characters deals with their faces, their teeth. In some cases, as in The Wife of Bath, we have some details about her teeth, but also, and most importantly, deals with their clothes. The color of their clothes, the type of fabrics used, says a lot about the characters. Okay, this was a general introduction to Canterbury Tales and its main features and characteristics. I hope everything is clear, and thank you for watching.